Tom Cruise has lived one of the loudest, flashiest lives Hollywood has ever seen. Blockbuster movies, worldwide fame, endless awards, glowing red carpets, and 3 headline-making marriages, from Mimi Rogers to Nicole Kidman to Katie Holmes. His love life stayed under a microscope for decades, splashed across magazines and TV screens non-stop. But the role that mattered most to him was never about box office numbers or awards. It was about being a father to Suri Cruise. For years, fans quietly questioned the relationship between Tom and his daughter Suri. People noticed the distance, the silence, the missing moments. Now, everything has flipped upside down. At just 19, Suri made a move that stunned fans and sparked one painful question everyone keeps asking: what really went wrong between father and daughter? Let's step back and look at how it all began. From small beginnings to global fame, Tom Cruise's rise was fast and explosive. Born Thomas Cruise. Mayfather IV on July 3, 1962, he didn't come from Hollywood royalty. He built his name from the ground up, hustling his way into acting in the early 1980s with raw charm and unstoppable energy. His real breakout came in Risky Business in 1983, followed by Top Gun in 1986, turning him into an overnight heartthrob. From there, the roles kept leveling up. Films like The Color of Money, Rain Man, and Born on the 4th of July showed he wasn't just a pretty face. His role as Ron Kovic earned him a Golden Globe and his first Oscar nomination, putting him in a whole new league. The 1990s were pure dominance. Movies like A Few Good Men, The Firm, Interview with the Vampire, and Jerry Maguire locked him in as one of Hollywood's most reliable stars. His performance in Magnolia later brought him another Golden Globe and yet another Oscar nomination. Tom wasn't slowing down, he was just getting started. When the new century hit, Tom shifted gears and went full throttle into action and sci-fi. He became Ethan Hunt in The Mission: Impossible franchise, starting in 1996 and running all the way to The Final Reckoning in 2025. He became famous for doing his own high-risk stunts, pushing limits most actors wouldn't touch. Hits like Minority Report, War of the Worlds, Edge of Tomorrow, and Top Gun. Maverick kept his reign strong and unshaken. The numbers tell the story loud and clear. His films pulled in over $13.3 billion worldwide, setting a Guinness World Record with 7 straight movies earning over $100 million. Honors kept rolling in: an Academy Honorary Award, an Honorary Palme d'Or in late 2024, and even the U.S. Navy's highest civilian honor. In 2025, the British Film Institute crowned him with its top fellowship for lifetime achievement. But behind all the trophies and applause, something darker was unfolding. Fans later realized the biggest drama in Tom's life wasn't on screen at all. It was happening quietly, away from cameras, inside his personal world. Tom's first marriage came in May 1987 when he married actress Mimi Rogers. They met through Scientology, a world Mimi grew up in and worked in as an auditor. It was through her that Tom was introduced to the Church of Scientology in 1986. The relationship didn't last long. Less than 3 years later, they divorced in February 1990. Things turned tense after their split. In a 1993 Playboy interview, Mimi made waves when she said Tom had once thought about becoming a monk, hinting that it affected their intimacy. Later, she walked back the comment and said she had been misunderstood. A friend claimed the fallout behind the scenes was intense, saying Tom and powerful industry figures were furious over the interview. According to reports, Mimi was told very clearly that unless she fixed the situation, her career could suffer. She later received a reported $4 million divorce settlement, closing one chapter, but opening many questions that would follow Tom for years to come. Tom's connection to Scientology didn't just stay quiet in the background, it grew louder and stronger by the year. By 1990, tabloids were already reporting on his involvement with the church, and the curiosity was building fast. 2 years later, Tom confirmed it himself during a Barbara Walters interview, saying Scientology helped him overcome dyslexia through its teaching methods. That moment pushed his beliefs into the public eye in a major way. By the early 2000s, Tom wasn't just a member, he was one of the church's most visible supporters. He formed a tight bond with church leader David Miscavige, a friendship that lasted for decades and became impossible to ignore. This connection became a core part of Tom's public image, but it also sparked non-stop controversy. What most people didn't realize at the time was how deeply this influence would shape his personal decisions and future relationships. While filming Days of Thunder in 1990, Tom met actress Nicole Kidman, and sparks flew fast. The two married on Christmas Eve that same year, moving at lightning speed. They later adopted two children, Isabella in 1992 and Connor in 1995, and for years, they looked like pure Hollywood royalty. Smiles, premieres, and picture-perfect moments filled the headlines. But behind closed doors, cracks were forming. In February 2001, the couple announced their separation, stunning fans everywhere. Just days later, Tom filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Years afterward, Nicole reflected on that chapter, saying she was a child who needed to grow up, hinting at how unbalanced things felt at the time. Former Scientology executive Mike Rinder later made serious claims, saying the church played a major role in the split. He alleged Tom was under heavy auditing pressure and even claimed Nicole's phone was tapped. Those accusations added fuel to growing concerns about outside influence in Tom's private life. Nicole later spoke up to clear the record on deeply personal stories that had been twisted in the media. She explained that reports were wrong when they claimed she had miscarried early in the marriage. As she stated clearly, "I had an ectopic pregnancy at the beginning of my marriage and a miscarriage at the end," correcting years of misinformation. The image of a perfect family faded fast. The marriage ended and both moved forward on separate paths. But questions didn't disappear, they multiplied. Tom soon entered new emotional territory, and attention turned to who or what might be shaping his next moves. After the divorce, Tom dated actress Penelope Cruz, his co-star from Vanilla Sky. Their relationship lasted around 3 years before ending in 2004. Not long after, a bombshell report dropped. In 2012, Vanity Fair published an explosive article claiming Scientology leaders launched a secret effort to help Tom find a new partner. According to sources, this effort allegedly involved auditions with actresses who were members of the church. One reported connection involved actress Nazanin Boniadi, who later left Scientology. The claim sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Scientology and Tom's legal team came out swinging, strongly denying the story. They threatened legal action and labeled the article shoddy journalism and religious bigotry. Still, journalist Roger Friedman later said director and former Scientologist Paul Haggis confirmed parts of the story over time, keeping the controversy alive. To fans, these stories painted a picture of tight control surrounding Tom's personal life. The questions grew louder. Was Tom making these choices freely, or was faith guiding more than anyone admitted? As the years passed and his family stayed mostly out of the spotlight, attention slowly narrowed toward the most personal bond of all, his relationship with his daughter Suri. But before the silence, there was a love story the world couldn't escape, a whirlwind romance that promised a fairy tale future. Hollywood gave it one unforgettable name: Tomcat. When Tomcat exploded onto the scene in early 2005, it felt instant and unstoppable. After Tom split from Nicole Kidman and later Penelope Cruz, the spotlight quietly shifted toward actress Katie Holmes, who was engaged to actor Chris Klein at the time. Everything changed when an old interview resurfaced. In a 2004-17 interview, Holmes had once said, "I used to think that I was going to marry Tom Cruise." 6 months later, her engagement ended. Then, in April 2005, she was spotted with Tom in Rome. Just 2 days after that sighting, the pair walked their first red carpet together, and Hollywood knew nothing was going to be the same. At the David Di Donatello Awards, fans instantly crowned them Tomcat, and photos of their nonstop affection flooded magazines everywhere. Hand-holding, smiles, and locked eyes. This couple was everywhere. Katie Holmes opened up about her feelings without holding back, saying, "When I met Tom, I was completely in love, and yes, I admired him growing up. He's Tom Cruise." The energy around them felt electric and impossible to ignore. Not long after, Tom delivered one of the most unforgettable TV moments in pop culture history. In May 2005, during an appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show, he jumped on Oprah's couch while talking about how deeply he loved Holmes. He even pulled her onto the stage with him. The clip went viral worldwide before viral was even a thing. Some people called it pure romance, while others raised eyebrows and questioned what was really going on. Still, Tom didn't slow down for a second. Just 1 month later, in June 2005, he announced their engagement in dramatic fashion. He proposed in Paris with a bold 5-carat yellow diamond ring, making the announcement at a press event. Tom proudly said, "Today is a magnificent day for me. I'm engaged to a magnificent woman." The message was loud, clear, and impossible to miss. The whirlwind only sped up from there. Bigger life changes were already lined up, all under the world's watchful eye. In April 2006, Katie gave birth to their first child, a baby girl named Suri, in Santa Monica, California. Their happiness instantly became global news when Suri appeared on the cover of Vanity Fair, turning a private moment into a worldwide headline. Later that year, Katie described the life-changing moment in her own words, saying, "The moment the doctor handed me Suri, I was just ready. The feeling is indescribable. All I can say is the moment I looked in her eyes, I felt like a mom." Cameras followed closely as Tom and Katie stepped into parenthood together, glowing and smiling for the world. Just months later, in November 2006, the couple tied the knot in a lavish ceremony at a castle in Italy. The wedding reportedly cost over $3 million, with celebrity guests filling the venue. Names like Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, John Travolta and Kelly Preston, and David and Victoria Beckham were all in attendance. Katie chose her sister Nancy as her maid of honor. Tom selected Scientology leader David Miscavige as his best man, a choice that raised quiet eyebrows at the time. For Katie, who once admitted she dreamed of marrying Tom as a teenager, the day felt like a real-life fairy tale come true. The couple appeared to have it all: a glamorous marriage, a growing family, and non-stop attention from the public. But behind the glossy photos and perfect headlines, some people quietly wondered if the pressure, spotlight, and outside influences were creating cracks no one could fully see yet. Then came the shock that no one saw coming. In June 2012, just days after Tom gave a Playboy interview praising Katie, she filed for divorce. The news hit fast and hard. Tom later admitted in a CBS News interview that he didn't expect the marriage to end. The legal process moved at lightning speed, with a settlement reached in just 11 days. Neither Tom nor Katie spoke in detail about what really happened, but rumors quickly grew louder than official statements. Many believed Katie wanted to protect her daughter from what she viewed as the strict environment of Scientology. During Tom's deposition in a lawsuit against Bauer Media, he was directly asked if Katie left him to protect Suri from Scientology. Visibly offended, Tom responded firmly, "There is no need to protect my daughter from my religion." When questioned again about whether Katie herself had mentioned protecting Suri, he replied, "Did she say that was one of the assertions?" "Yes." The exchange added even more fuel to public speculation. After the divorce, Katie was awarded primary custody of Suri, while Tom received visitation rights. Even so, reports later claimed that by 2016, Tom was rarely seen with his daughter, leaving fans wondering how such a high-profile love story ended in so much silence. In Touch Weekly later dropped a report that stopped fans cold. It claimed Tom Cruise had not seen or spoken to Suri in more than 1,000 days, nearly 2.5 years. What began as one of Hollywood's loudest love stories now felt distant and unfinished. Headlines shifted fast, from red carpet romance to quiet separation, from smiling family photos to unanswered questions. People couldn't help but ask how something that started so publicly could fade into silence so completely. As the adults stepped away from the spotlight, one small life remained at the center of it all. A child once surrounded by cameras was now growing up quietly, out of view. The journey from America's baby to a private teen was one the world still remembers clearly. Suri Cruise entered the world in a way no child could ever escape. Born on April 18, 2006, to Hollywood superstars Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, she was instantly labeled the most famous baby in America. The world waited months to finally see her face, and when it happened, it was a major moment. She appeared on the cover of Vanity Fair, cradled by her smiling parents in photos taken by legendary photographer Annie Leibovitz. For a time, Suri was everywhere. Fashion blogs tracked her outfits, cameras followed her steps, paparazzi captured nearly every moment of her early childhood. But as she grew older, something shifted. Instead of becoming more public, her life became more protected. Katie Holmes slowly and deliberately pulled her daughter away from the spotlight. Growing up in Manhattan, Suri lived largely out of public view. She was shielded by her mother and kept far from the attention tied to her father's world. Industry insiders later claimed that Suri and Tom had no relationship at all, a statement that stunned fans who remembered those early family photos. One source explained it clearly, saying, "Katie has safeguarded Suri, and she's a devoted mom. This is a girl who is a private citizen. She hasn't lived her life in public." That protection became the foundation of Suri's life, shaping everything that followed. Katie herself spoke openly about that choice in a 2023 interview with Glamour. She said she wanted to protect Suri because she had already been so visible at a very young age. Then she added words that showed just how deep that bond runs, saying, "I'm very grateful to be a parent, to be her parent. She's an incredible person. She's my heart." Those words painted a picture far removed from flashing cameras and magazine covers. Suri's life became defined by privacy instead of publicity. But behind that careful shield, one question still lingered quietly. What happened to the promises that once sounded so certain? Before everything fell apart, Tom Cruise spoke with total confidence about the father he wanted to be. In a 2006 Vanity Fair interview, just after Suri's birth, he said, "My whole life, I always wanted to be a father. I always said to myself that my children would be able to depend on me, and I would always be there for them and love them." The words sounded strong and unshakable. He went on to say that I'd never make a promise to my kids that I couldn't keep. I'm not one of those people who believe you can spoil a child with too much love. You can never give a child too much love. There's just no way. At the time, Tom already had 2 adopted children, Isabella and Connor, from his marriage to Nicole Kidman. He proudly introduced Suri to the world, smiling for cameras and sharing his joy openly. This was the same man who once declared his love by jumping on Oprah Winfrey's couch and shouting, "I'm in love." Everything seemed locked in place. But when Suri was just 6 years old, everything changed. In 2012, Katie Holmes filed for divorce after 6 years of marriage. The move was planned quietly, with help from her father, and it marked the beginning of a split that would reshape Suri's life forever. Lawyer Martin Holmes, Katie's father, reportedly helped keep the divorce process airtight, even using burner phones to avoid leaks. At the time, Tom Cruise was overseas in Iceland filming Oblivion when he got the news, and sources say he was completely blindsided. The last public sighting of Tom and Suri together came shortly after, during a family trip to Disney World in the summer of 2012. After that, everything went quiet. That silence didn't go unnoticed. During a deposition connected to Tom's lawsuit against tabloids, court documents revealed his own admission that Katie filed for divorce to protect Suri from Scientology. Even though the divorce agreement included $400,000 per year in child support until Suri turned 18, plus full coverage for education and healthcare, reports later suggested something deeper had changed. The financial support remained, but the emotional connection appeared to fade. By 2016, rumors had turned into troubling headlines. In Touch Weekly claimed Tom had not seen or spoken to Suri in more than 1,000 days. The once very public father-daughter bond had gone completely silent. That silence only made people ask harder questions about why contact never seemed to restart. At the center of nearly every question stood one powerful force: Scientology. Many believe it cast a long shadow over Tom and Suri's relationship. Katie Holmes is widely believed to have signed non-disclosure agreements tied to her marriage and time connected to the church, meaning she legally cannot speak freely about what happened behind closed doors. But something changed when Suri turned 18. Under New York law, she reached the age of majority, meaning she is now legally free to speak for herself if she ever chooses to. Journalist Tony Ortega explained it clearly, saying Suri would have been too young to sign any agreement, but now, she will be free to talk if she wants to, and it's going to be really interesting if she has something to say. That statement alone turned heads. Ortega also suggested Katie's decision to leave when Suri was just 6 may have been shaped by what she witnessed with Tom's older children inside Scientology. The concern wasn't just about the present, it was about the future. Scientology is known for strict rules when members leave. Former members who quit are often labeled suppressive persons, or SPs, and remaining members may be instructed to completely disconnect from them. Ortega pointed out the complicated gray area surrounding Tom's situation, explaining, "We don't know for sure if Katie was ever declared an SP." He added, "If you're a regular church member, you could be told to disconnect from your wife and daughter. But because Tom is a celebrity, the top celebrity, he gets to ignore all this stuff." According to Ortega, an average member wouldn't get that kind of flexibility. Former Scientologists Mike Rinder and Jeff Augustine backed up those claims. Augustine, whose wife once held one of the highest positions in the church before leaving, offered a deeper perspective. He explained, "The situation with Suri is part of a larger story about Scientology and how they treat people who are no longer useful to them, or who are seen as threats." He continued, "They become non-persons. It's like they cease to exist." For many outsiders, those words hit hard. They gave voice to fears that Suri's separation wasn't just about family conflict. It may have been shaped by forces far bigger than any one relationship. Still, despite growing up away from the spotlight, Suri has quietly shown signs of her creative side. While attending an elite Manhattan school, she lent her voice to music in her mother's projects. She sang Blue Moon for the opening credits of Katie Holmes' 2022 film, Alone Together. Katie spoke warmly about the moment, saying, "I always want the highest level of talent, so I asked her. She's very, very talented. She said she would do it, and she recorded it, and I let her do her thing." The pride was clear. Suri later contributed again, singing in Holmes' film Rare Objects, marking another quiet step forward. No headlines, no red carpets, just a young woman finding her voice on her own terms. Even now, Suri's life remains mostly private, and that is no accident. Katie Holmes has been extremely careful about how much she shares about her daughter, choosing protection over publicity every time. When she has spoken, her words have been simple but powerful. Katie once described Suri's inner strength by saying she came out very strong, adding that she's always been a strong personality. Those words paint a picture of resilience built quietly, away from cameras. As Suri prepares for college, Katie admitted that letting go is going to be emotionally tough. In an interview with Town and Country, she opened up honestly, saying, "You want them to stay with you forever, but they're these amazing beings and you have to do everything you can to give them what they need, and they're going to go, and that's going to be very, very sad for me." The emotion behind those words was impossible to miss. Meanwhile, former Scientology spokesperson Mike Rinder, who has spoken openly about losing contact with two of his own children after leaving the church, offered a powerful and emotional statement. He said clearly that Suri is not a Scientologist and never will be, adding that she deserves understanding, care, and compassion as she steps into adulthood. His words echoed what many people already felt. Now, Suri stands at a crossroads. On one side is the world she was born into, fame, power, and endless attention. On the other is the quiet life her mother carefully built around her. And as Suri continues forward, the world watches closely, waiting to see which path she chooses next. While Suri moved quietly into adulthood, her father was stepping back into the spotlight. Cameras turned toward Tom Cruise once again, and this time, one simple question reopened the entire conversation. In May 2025, Tom appeared at the New York premiere of Mission: Impossible: The Final Reckoning. During the event, an E! News reporter asked what seemed like an innocent question. What would his ideal Father's Day look like? Tom paused before answering. Then he said slowly, "You know?" before replying, "Just having fun, man." He added, "Making movies, big adventures, having a great time." The answer landed hard. Fans were stunned. There was no mention of his children at all. For many watching, the moment felt awkward and uncomfortable, especially given Tom's history as a father to 3 children. Isabella, now 32, Connor, now 30, whom he adopted with Nicole Kidman, and Suri, now 19, whom he shares with Katie Holmes. Tom and Katie were married for 6 years before separating in 2012. After the split, Katie moved to the East Coast and raised Suri in New York, far from Hollywood. Since then, Tom has not been publicly seen with Suri, a fact that continues to raise eyebrows. Meanwhile, Suri is now a college student at Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania. She often returns to New York to spend time with her mother, with whom she shares a very close and visible bond. That connection has remained steady, even as everything else shifted. What made the Father's Day moment even harder to ignore was that Suri had already made a quiet decision that spoke louder than any interview answer. A decision about her own identity. In 2024, Suri stopped using the last name Cruise. Instead, she began using her mother's middle name, Noel, as her surname. The change didn't come with a press release. It showed up quietly in public records. The first sign appeared on a casting sheet for her high school musical, The Addams Family, where she performed as Morticia Addams. Her name was listed as Suri Noel. The same name later appeared on her LaGuardia High School graduation pamphlet. Then again on a Broadway playbill for Head Over Heels, once more listed as Suri Noel. The shift caught immediate attention. While it remains unclear whether the change has been made legal, insiders say the meaning behind it is deeply personal. One source told Page 6, she's showing praise for her mother by using her middle name, adding that Suri wants her own identity, one that isn't linked to her absent father. The message felt clear. Sources close to the situation confirmed that Suri and Tom have been estranged since his split from Katie Holmes. Reports say the name change was Suri's choice alone, a quiet tribute to the woman who raised her almost entirely. No speeches, no headlines shouted from rooftops, just a young woman making a statement in her own way, on her own terms. The timing of Suri's graduation made the message hit even harder. Just one day after she finished her studies at LaGuardia High School, Tom Cruise was photographed in London, smiling, relaxed, and celebrating at a Taylor Swift concert. Fans were stunned seeing him enjoy a major night out while his daughter marked one of the biggest milestones of her life. For many, the moment confirmed what they already suspected. While Suri was moving forward into adulthood, her father appeared both physically and emotionally distant. The contrast was impossible to ignore. A lot of people believe Tom's deep connection to the Church of Scientology has played a role in the growing divide. His two older children, Isabella and Connor, whom he shares with Nicole Kidman, are active Scientologists and have been seen with him publicly in recent years. Suri, however, has stayed completely separate from that world. Court documents show Tom met all of his financial responsibilities. He paid $400,000 per year in child support until Suri turned 18 and covered medical, dental, insurance, education, college, and extracurricular costs. But despite that support, there has been no public evidence of a personal relationship continuing behind the scenes. Katie Holmes focused on raising Suri quietly and safely. Speaking with InStyle, she opened up about the pressure she faced while shielding her daughter during the intense media storm after the divorce. She said, "That time was intense, it was a lot of attention, and I had a little child on top of it. We had some funny moments out and about in public." Her words showed just how heavy that period was. Katie later shared how life shifted once the noise settled, saying she finally felt free to be creative again and find her own voice. But her biggest focus never changed: raising a strong daughter. She spoke proudly about shaping Suri into a confident young woman, saying, "I want to make sure she's 100% herself and strong, confident, and able, and to know it." She added, "She came out very strong. She's always been a strong personality. That strength didn't come by accident." Katie explained that Suri is driven and focused, saying she'll pick an activity and work her butt off until she's really good at it. Then she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna try the next thing." She's very focused and a hard worker. Those words paint a picture of discipline and independence built over years. All of this shows how much effort went into giving Suri stability far away from Hollywood chaos. While her father embraced a life filled with premieres and global travel, Suri was shaped into someone grounded, focused, and self-directed. And she has made her choice clear. Despite being the daughter of one of the richest and most famous actors in the world, Suri has chosen a normal, quiet life away from fame. In July 2025, she was spotted riding the New York City subway after returning home from college in Pittsburgh. No limo, no bodyguards, just another commuter. Photos showed her dressed simply in a cropped gray shirt, dark leggings, retro sneakers, long socks, and a navy tote bag. Her hair was pulled back in a casual ponytail. She blended right into the crowd, no flash, no spectacle, no celebrity treatment. It was a powerful image that said more than words ever could. Around the same time, Daily Mail claimed Suri had gained access to part of a trust fund left by her father and that millions were waiting for her in the future. But Katie Holmes shut that story down immediately. Posting a screenshot of the article on Instagram, Katie wrote, "Completely false. Daily Mail, you can stop making stuff up." She added one firm word: enough. The response was instant. Fans rushed to support her. One person commented, "Only you know the truth, and that's what counts. We love you and believe you, that's for sure." Another wrote, "Way to stand up for your daughter, Katie. I can't imagine it's easy, but you're doing great. The media needs to leave kids alone." The support poured in fast. As Suri balances university life, creative projects, and trips back to New York, her actions quietly prove something powerful. While her father continues a life of red carpets and big adventures, Suri is choosing a different road, a road built on privacy, independence, and the steady love of the mother who stayed by her side. Do you think Suri will ever reconnect with Tom as an adult? And which path do you believe she'll choose? A quiet life or a return to the public eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you felt something real, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.